Hey everybody, what's going on? It's your boy, igLockDaddy. Welcome to the broadcast. Today, we're trying to get that interview with Brad Marsh of PAC hooked up for y'all. I got my questions. Let's go ahead and give him a call, see what's going down for real. Got some Metallica playing by request. So we're pulling up Hangouts now. And we're calling Brad. So, folks, don't forget, while we got the call going through, don't forget to like and subscribe right here at Spreaker.com. It gives you all the updates and what goes on as to, when all the good stuff happens, like when I go live. I don't always talk just about this coin. The call's not going through. Let me try something else. Let's see what we got going on here. So, folks, okay. Should have got this better together. Yes, I know. We'll see. Let's see. Bring back the music. And we'll contact Brad. In the meantime, I'm going to give you a little preview as to what is going on with today's show. We're going to ask him a bunch of coins. We're going to ask him a bunch of questions, folks. That's basically the deal here. Brad Marsh, CMO of PAC, Chief Marketing Officer. So does that mean there's a PAC Foundation? Okay, we'll see. Hello, Jason. Welcome to the broadcast, brother. We're trying to get a hold of Brad Marsh right here. I'm going to hit him up on Discord real quick. Now it says he's on Google Hangouts. Gives you the option to send an invite link. Send that. Let's see. All right. Alrighty then. If I can get this figured out, this would be the best thing. I want to talk to him about the London Crypto Show. Yup. We're going to ask him some questions about the wallets. We're going to find out what's going on with the mining. We're going to talk about it all if we can get the communication together. Not to mention, if you guys are listening to me over in London, I know you guys got to love your Metallica. You know what I mean? I know this is taking a little bit longer than I thought, but we will get it, folks. We will. One way or another. So I'm going to pull up the Discord chat over here to my right and see if I can see what's going on. Brad, if you're listening to the show, brother, we can speak through Discord as well. Can't we? I'm pretty sure we can. Just talking to Brad on Discord, we're having our own little chat. We're going to cut you guys out of it. Just kidding, man. Just kidding. Relax. Sit tight. Enjoy the tunes. I'm going to go deal with this and get Brad on the phone. Listen to some Metallica for a minute. I'll be back. So I'm back, giving you a little update of what's going on here. Got a little Staying Alive by Leo Marcole. I sent him the link to the call that I'm on. I'm waiting for him to pick up, man. Staying alive. Staying alive. So, this isn't going well, huh, guys? That's fun. It's always fun. Always. Looks like no one could make it. The call has ended. That's wonderful. No one could make it. Now, let's see. Okay, I'm going to bring up the Discord chat and see what those guys got to say, because I know y'all are listening over in the Discord chat. This doesn't happen. I don't usually have problems performing. But you see, I usually only perform by myself. I never have a problem when I perform by myself. You see how that goes. Bring somebody else into the mix. Always happens. So I'm going to try and set up an alternate way to talk to this gentleman right here. We will get her done, folks. I don't quit. All go. No quit. I haven't brought out an old Android phone just in case that's the problem. If you're listening, that is so funny. Yep, I see it, Jason. I'm bringing it up. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Start a call, then click to on Discord. Let's bring that up. Let's see what that says. Send the link and boom. Oh, I wonder if I'm getting live updates from Discord right now from Brad, if that's what's going on. Yep, I normally use the desktop app. Start a call, click the link, and boom. All right, give me a minute, Brad. I'm working on it. See, I'm more of a mobile guy myself as far as when it comes to using... Give me a minute, bud. Be right there. Although we shouldn't be having a problem connecting. That should be able to connect a phone and a computer, no problem. I don't know why that's the problem. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Let me get Discord up here first. We're off the page now, man. It's 15 minutes past interview start time. All right, there's my convo with Brad. Let's bring up the PAC. General chat room. Here on Discord, if you are not a member, there is a link in the doodly-doo down below. The description, that thing, the description, that's down below. You can go in there, and if there's an invite in the link there, go ahead, get invited to the group, come on in. Which big exchange is rumored? Ooh, I like that. Let's see. All right. So, we are bringing up Hangouts. I've got the general chat up here in the Discord chat room. Thanks, Jared. Yeah, I know. Failure to perform. Your wife says it happens to everyone. Guess what? Mine does too. So, all right, guys. Discord's up in the chats. I'm going to bring up Hangouts next, and we're going to see if we can't get a hold of Brad. Hey, if you ever want a tutorial on how not to do a podcast, I'll tell you what, igLockDaddy, I think I've got it on lockdown here. Oh, thank you, Jason, for putting that link right up there in the chat. If you're on Spreaker.com, there's a chat running over there as well. Jason has put up the Discord link there if you need to get to the convo. All right, we're bringing up Hangouts. So, give me a moment to do this. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to get this focus over here. Hold on. Please stand by. Brad and I are currently working the problem. We'll be with you very shortly. Thank you for your patience, and have a lovely day.
you doing? Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, my friend.
Alrighty, folks. I can hear you. You can hear Brad. We can all hear each other. Brad, just to let you know, we are live right now. I started the show. That way I could just bring you into it. So, without further ado... Without further ado, anybody listening in the chats, how does the level sound on Brad? I'm giving it a sound check. We'll get you all squared away. All right. So, folks, on the phone right now, we have ourselves Brad Marsh, CMO of PAC. Hello, Brad. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. I'm actually I just had my my lunch, so I'm fed and ready to rock. So I hope you've got some good music lined up for everybody.
Fantastic, absolutely. I've been playing a little bit of a Metallica. Are you a fan, sir?
I am.
Excellent. Did you catch their show in London last year when they played? Were you able to make it out there?
Well, last time I saw them live was at Reading Festival in 2015. And they were headlining on the Sunday night. And it was absolutely crazy. It was quite an atmosphere. So.
It's one of the best shows, I believe the best show I have ever seen, and I've heard multiple people say that.
Yeah, the production quality is insane. The amount of pyrotechnics that they have going on, it really makes you feel quite involved. And if you can get close enough to the stage, you sometimes lose some of your hair because it gets burnt off.
Their pyro is crazy. 40-foot flames coming out of the stage. I'll tell you what, brother. You can't beat it. Can't beat it. Well, anyway, thank you for the interview, my friend. I appreciate it. Like the John Wick of the crypto world, we're going to take on some questions and bang out some answers today. First question I have for you is basically, I want to know a little bit about you. I know a lot of the users of PAC, and I know a lot of the people who are considering buying the coin or trying to figure out if they should get in. They want to know who's behind the coin. So who is Brad Marsh? How did you get into PAC?
Well, to be honest with you, I've been in crypto for a few years now, just as a speculative purchaser, someone who, just wanted to join the industry, make a little bit of extra money, like a lot of people do when they come into this sort of, into any investment opportunity. So, we're talking like 2015, sort of, I bought a few coins like Ripple. I think I invested a bit in Bitcoin to start with, Litecoin. Yep. I had a few of the most popular top 5 coins. And so I've always been into the space. I've always done my own research. I've always gone to exhibitions, just tried to understand the technology. Myself, I have a long history of graphic design and web design, and I successfully run a digital agency in the UK. So this, for me, was a natural progression of combining my professional career with something that was a personal interest to me. So naturally, I reached out to PAC towards the middle of 2017, seeing that they were rebranding, they were launching this new coin, and they had this new initiative, and they were taking over from the old devs, and the whole concept was really, really interesting to me. And with my background of corporate communications, digital marketing, traditional marketing, and branding, I felt I'd be a perfect fit for the coin. So I submit an application in, as you would do for any job. They weighed my application up against, I think, 30 or 40 other applications from other agencies and other individuals that said they could help. And we reached an agreement, and they felt I was the right fit to help them relaunch the coin. I started off actually joining the Discord like anybody else, and I just submitted a few sort of concepts for the logos and like banner adverts and animations and stuff, just to like they said, it was a community coin and it was going to be built by the community. Right. And yeah, it eventually transformed into a full-time role with them, and I couldn't be happier to be part of the team. So.
That's fantastic. Now, you actually alluded to my next question there, which is, What is PAC? What got you to believe in this coin? Now my personal experience here was that, I didn't find the coin until January of 2018, maybe December 2017, right around the time it popped. For you, what is PAC? What is the coin?
Sure. I mean, that's quite an open-ended question.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I mean, because PAC can be anything to a lot of people. I mean, some people, you go from one end of the spectrum where people just want to get in cheap and hope that it makes them some money. You got those people. But for me specifically, I just liked the idea of being a part of something on the ground level. I've always wanted to be more involved in cryptocurrencies. And in terms of where PAC is going, obviously there was no white paper because I helped build the white paper. There was no roadmap because I helped put the roadmap together. So you've got to understand, I came into this with very much an open mind. I didn't even know where the coin was going initially. But after a few meetings with, obviously, the management team and the developers, they told me about this idea of creating a coin that would be run off of the Dash X11 algorithm and how its improvements were going to nullify the old issues with the previous coin, and they were going to bring it into the limelight so that the masses could take control over it. They could create a currency that was used by the people, sculpted by the people, influenced by the people, and ultimately what we've seen happen in only the last 4 months is we have actually accumulated an incredible team of volunteers exactly as intended, where we were going to put out proposals and essentially, we would say we're looking for people that have this type of experience. Can you help out? And we've attracted the interest of some major players. I mean, Break Crypto, who's one of the main developers now, came in as a volunteer. Started because he was the guy that noticed that the old PAC coin had a 51% rewind attack bug, and he actually provided a resolution to it, which the old developer, who we still had contact with at the time, actually turned down, which was, we had some community backlash over that because a lot of people saw that, via the Bitcoin talk thread, to come up with a solution for this rewind attack bug, and it was turned down by the old developer. To which, the whole essence of the coin was to be governed by the community, fixed by the community, pushed forward and promoted by the community. So when something as serious as that has a resolution and then it's turned down by the old dev, it went against the core values of the coin. So we made a natural progression to move away from the old algorithm and move on to the new platform so that we could do what we said we were going to do.
Okay.
So,
fantastic.
Like I say,
That's great. Now, with a lot of this, you're talking about the Dash X11 protocol and all this other stuff. Now, I wanted to get a little bit into how the coin works with the master nodes. I mean, Jason's throwing up a thing in the chat here right now. The current master node count is 2624. Tell me why that's important.
Okay, well, essentially what master nodes do for the layman is they take coins out of the circulating supply. They provide services such as instant send and private send to the network. And without master nodes, you can't have those features happen, at least not to the levels that we want them to be happening. Instant send has to be instant, so you need master nodes for that. And reducing the circulating supply makes PAC a rarer commodity. In the market, if there's less coins to purchase, then the demand is higher and the price goes up. Okay. So what we're seeing is an adoption rate of what we predicted to be by the end of 2019, we would have an 80% adoption rate of master nodes. And we're currently sat, I think, in the 60s, something like that. So that's actually very much in line with what Dash is. I think Dash, you have 61% of the entire coin supply locked up in master nodes. Obviously, they're a hell of a lot older than we are. They've been running for years now, and we're only 2 months old. But considering we're at the same sort of adoption rate as a currency that has been around for 5 years, I think it just bodes really, really well. It shows that people are confident in the coin's future. You wouldn't purchase a master node if you didn't want to, remove that collateral from circulating supply. And So that's essentially what they do.
All right.
We are launching this new mega node structure, which we've written the code for, and will, work very, very well, where you're basically locking your collateral up indefinitely for a period of 6, 9, or 12 months. So with the current masternode structure, you can withdraw that collateral at any point in time and sever the connection to the network to either liquidate those assets or to, move your coins around as you please. But with mega nodes, you're in essence,
Yep.
contractually locked in to the network for 6 months, but users will get an additional bonus of 5, 10, or 20% additional reward times. So it doesn't increase the amount of coins you get as a reward, it just increases the frequency of rewards, if that makes any sense.
Yes,
so you get
absolutely.
like a priority in that regard. And that's something that's not really been done before. So it's something that is, innovative, which is what we said we would do. We wouldn't just copy code and be a duplicate of Dash. We would take their code and progressively over the months that we develop this coin, create new things that haven't been done before to become different. And then this is just one of many that we're currently working on.
All right. That's great, man. And you know what? That's the thing. Like, this is the one thing that I got into PAC to find out is that, you've heard of a lot of the, everybody knows about BitConnect, everybody knows about OneCoin, everybody knows about all these other coins, but the whole point of this was to find people in this coin who can validate it, who can show everybody else that, no, it's not a scam. Because as I understand, you guys have been taking a lot of FUD over this coin recently, have you not?
You could put it that way. It's been my job as kind of a PR manager to handle it and sort of do certain amounts of damage limitation. But to be honest, if I were to make it my full-time job to manage, our social media platforms, I would not be doing what I need to be doing, which is reaching out to new potential investors, forming partnerships with exchanges.
Absolutely.
And doing these things like we got accepted to do a keynote talk at the London cryptocurrency show in April, which everyone seems to be looking forward to.
Yes, what is the date on that?
So that'll be interesting.
April what? What
April
was
18th, April 14th.
April
Saturday,
14th.
April 14th, in the Novotel exhibition hall in London, on the west side of London. So all of the details are on their website, and you can see that PAC is exhibiting, and I'll be doing two talks. One which will be in the main arena for 30 minutes, all by myself, lonely on stage, and I'll be a panelist for their show at the end. So they've got like a big exhibition hall where they've got 4 industry professionals and industry influencers, and I'll be a panelist on that one as well. And I think all of them will be live streamed, so people can tune in whenever they want to.
Oh, fantastic! Now I understand PAC. If you're a PAC Discord member or a PAC owner, what is it? Gets free. Did you have some sort of deal with them that?
Yeah, if you go onto their website and purchase a ticket and put in all capitals PAC London 2018, you get a free ticket.
Hey.
So anyone who wants to be a delegate who is part of the PAC community now gets a free ticket.
See, guys, you can't go wrong. You got to get to London. Get to the crypto show, the London Crypto Show, April 14th.
And I'll be happy to do like a meet and greet afterwards as well. Once everything's said and done, we can all go get drunk together.
Hey, there we go. Now, hey, what better thing to do, right? Well, and then while you're getting drunk, how did the Electrum wallet release go? Now, this is my key. The key to this whole thing is the wallets, bringing the users into the fold, not just the master node people, not just, bringing the mass into the fold. Mobile wallets. We had the Electrum release. Now, we'll talk about Android and iOS in a moment.
Sure.
But the Electrum wallet, how did that go? That was supposed to be April 1st.
Yeah, well, that actually dropped. We dropped the beta exactly when we said we would. We were quite close to missing the deadline, but since we'd missed deadlines before, I was on the phone with one of the head devs to basically just say, we've got to get this out to everybody else. They're counting on us. We've not hit deadlines before, and it's important to help build trust in the community to diffuse the FUD by hitting the dates that we said we're going to hit. And you're going to make my life as the PR manager. Very, very difficult if I've now got to put out a release saying that we didn't hit yet another deadline. But we did. We put the code out all on our GitHub repository. So everyone who wants to go see that, they can go check that out. They can install it. Everything's there. The release notes are there. The patch notes will be coming out in the next couple of days when we obviously add more features to the platform, because it is in a beta right now. So there are features that are coming that aren't quite live yet, most notably the masternode monitoring system. So you'll be able to live monitor your nodes, your expected payout, your position in the queue. All of these really, really useful features for people to be able to just monitor their balances, which I think for now people just think is a useful tool in general to monitor finances. But what you need to understand is that's providing a basis for everything in the future to be a physical currency. Because if you have fiat in a bank, if you've got US dollars in a bank account, you want to be able to go in there, see your interest, go in there and see what transactions you've made, where your money's been going, if your wife has stolen your credit card, that kind of stuff. So what this is doing is providing those same features. So it will have a live transaction history, and it will also have eventually a payment gateway, which you'll be able to link in to retailers and be able to send transactions either via a mobile method, tablet method, or PC, depending on which retailers accept PAC and what methods we choose to go ahead in terms of our point of sale systems that we're developing towards the end of this year. So it's very much like a beta right now, but it's the foundation for a lot of features that the coin is going to be running on.
Now, is that the Electrum Beta 294 lightweight wallet? Is that what we're talking about? Okay.
That's correct.
Okay, good. So, and you can get that at the github.com PAC community Electrum PAC release.
Yes.
Absolutely. Beautiful. So, folks, if you want that wallet, go get it right now. Also, Android and iOS. I wanted to get to these because these are. Would you not consider these the big daddy? You know what I mean? Like, this is what you want to have if you're creating a coin.
Well, these apps are the most entry-level sort of method of getting PAC in people's hands. So obviously everyone has a mobile phone. Well, not everyone, but let's say a large selection of the masses will have a mobile phone, albeit Windows, Android, or iOS. We released the iOS wallet a few weeks ago. We did a live demo on YouTube to show all the different features and functionality, as well as how the QR code scanner on the iOS app works with paper wallets and potentially taking payments in stores. So, for example, if, let's say, a guy is selling, jeans, and he has a QR code for the price of those jeans in US dollars on his shop front, people can literally bring up their iOS app and scan that QR code and send funds directly to the retailer. So those features are really, really important, and just bridging the gap between making the coin a token and making it an actual currency. Okay. And these things were always going to be released as soon as the coin was physically live. So February 1st, the coin went live, and then we got straight on, while the redemption was taking place, of developing these applications. So the iOS app is live, but it's only available through test flight at the moment, which means we're limited to 10,000 downloads, and that's on pacmobile.net. Whether we've hit that 10,000 or not, I'm not entirely sure. If not,
I tried yesterday, and they wouldn't let me get it. They wouldn't let me get it. I'm like, come on, give me this damn thing.
Either we hit the 10,000 downloads, or we've had to disable the test flight due to a reason that I'll ask one of the devs. But as people will probably be aware, getting an app listed on the App Store is quite a labor-intensive process. There's a lot of hoops you need to jump through for the Apple Store to actually list you. The issue that we're having at the moment is we need to register it to a legal entity, which we're setting up at the moment. But as soon as we have that, then they should approve us, because they actually have approved a Dash app, Dash wallet on their platform. And since we're a fork of them, we fall under the same remit as them. So we're just basically saying, we're essentially the same platform. We've made some UI tweaks and some obviously feature changes, but we're essentially one of the, it's the same functionality, it's the same legal risk for you guys and your users, so there shouldn't be any issues. In regards to Android, that is pretty much done. We did our bug testing last week, and it's all working fine. As far as I'm aware, it should drop within a week. 2 weeks at most. I mean, it needs to be live because we need to have the Android app live for the show in April anyway.
Yes.
So if we don't have the Android app live by the 14th, I won't be able to demo it. So we're going to be shooting ourselves in the foot if we don't hit that deadline. So, yeah. Expect
Absolutely.
that relatively soon.
Absolutely. Now, I had seen this morning, there was a project going on where we were looking for Litecoin. Is this ringing a bell? Maybe I saw this. This might have been FUD somewhere else.
That was posted today, I think, by one of the admins on Discord.
Okay.
If I'm correct. I think that was something that was put out, I believe, because we're in talks with an exchange, and there's
what it was.
Fee that needs to be paid for an exchange.
Yes,
but
60
it's
Litecoin.
It's my understanding that these sort of things will be handled by our operations budget, and we won't be seeking donations from the community. We shouldn't, like I say, we're not really allowed to talk about exchange listings due to non-disclosure agreements, and we don't want to get done for insider trading. So I think if you see anything posted by anyone about exchanges, I would take it with a pinch of salt. If we release something officially, then sure. But yeah, I mean, we're in talks with a lot of exchanges right now. Right. I know that the CEO had a sit down with quite a big exchange yesterday. Physically had a head-to-head. So hopefully that went well. I need to chase him up on that.
Who is the CEO? Who is that? Is that now? Is that the guy Smoker on Discord?
Smoker is the head dev. So he mans up both the redemption desk out in Mexico and mans up the team of developers that we have that are decentralized across the world.
Right.
So Smoker's our head dev, and all of the main coin decisions will go through him. We also have a guy called New Crypto, who you can find on Discord, and he handles a lot of the major projects. So he's been working tirelessly on the Electrum wallet, and he was the guy that was able to get me the beta on time. So shout out to him. Don't be thanking me. Go message New Crypto on Discord and say he's done a great job.
All right. So the CEO, but is he public yet? Is he out there? Does he want to be known? Does he not want to be known?
No, I mean, I respect his wishes to remain anonymous, and he has legitimate cause to be anonymous.
Okay.
I believe there are some conflict of interest issues regarding both his professional career and what he's trying to pursue within crypto. So if he were to become public, it might influence that side of things. Because you've got to remember, aside from myself and a few other people, PAC isn't their full-time job. They are volunteers. They are doing it part-time. So they do have full-time jobs in tandem to this. And like I say, with this particular individual, it would pose a conflict of interest. So he wants to run this and to do it to the best of his ability, but he needs to dot the I's and cross the T's before he can come out and say that he is managing it, because he's working within a tech conglomerate in the States. So he's within the industry. He's got a lot of pulling power within the fintech sector. So
would I know him if he was out there? Like, do I know his name?
Probably.
Oh, cool.
I wouldn't. Probably.
All right.
But the whole team respects his decision.
Right.
We don't think at this stage it's a mandatory requirement.
No, not
You've got
yet.
to remember that the whole fundamental point of this coin is to not make any one single figure the face of the coin. It is supposed to be a community coin. We want the community to be the face. If you look at what happened with Charlie Lee, with Litecoin, when he announced that he was selling his portfolio of LTC, the price completely tanked because he's seen as an influencer for that coin. I mean, can you imagine if tomorrow I decided that I had financial issues and I needed to liquidate my share of PAC and I posted it out on Twitter? It's going to tank the price. People are going to lose faith in the coin, and that's what we're trying to avoid. We don't want a single point of failure for the coin.
Exactly.
So by making the whole team public, or even the issue with people viewing me as the face of the coin, I believe this is the route that we shouldn't be taking. I don't want that kind of responsibility or that kind of influence. I don't want me to be in a position where if I put out a tweet where I disagree with a SEC legislation that's just come out, that people are going to take my word as the gospel and then go sell all their crypto. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we will be taking steps in the future to diversify the way in which people view the figureheads in the coin. So we'll hopefully be expanding to a point where we can have representatives from each country, leading up meet and greets, local events, community events, and expanding the coin in that way. So, like I say, it's everybody. Everybody's the face of the coin, and everybody feels like they have an equal role, whether they own a master node or not. We want everyone's voice to be equally important.
Right.
So.
Oh, no doubt, because honestly, the community is what drives the coin. It's the community that's going to adopt it, use it, and hopefully hold it very, close to their hearts, near and dear. So, with that being said, is there anybody else out there willing? Because we don't want to expose anybody, but is there anybody else willing to come out of the shadows? Is there anybody else out of the shadows that we could look at and say, oh, he worked on this project? Or like you put your stuff out there. Is there anybody else like you, Brad, around at PAC?
Yeah, and that didn't work out very well for me, to be honest.
Well, I heard about those abs, bud.
Cheers. No, a lot of people looked up my personal address.
Yes.
And, I got, still today, I get a lot of threatening mail, to the point where I've had to actually seek, not legal advice, but I've had to seek, police advice and what I can do if certain situations were to happen. So, for example, I'm going to the crypto show in London, so
yes.
I've had to arrange with a close friend of mine who works with the Metropolitan Police in London, a rapid response unit to be on call, just in case something were to happen, because if you had seen some of the messages I've been getting, then you would be making the exact same precautions that I am. So, unfortunately, money does crazy things to people. And
it does.
It's not nice to be in the position that I'm in when really all we're trying to do is move the project forward. Like you say, you released a video a few months back where you reviewed the coin and ascertained whether it was a scam or not. But for other people, they've invested a lot of money in this coin. They've invested at the wrong time, and the price doesn't reflect what they wanted it to reflect. I mean, not to bring this up, but
no, it's okay.
Exactly. We as a coin put out numerous statements on all of our social platforms, on our blog. I mean, if you go to the blog on January 2nd, right now, you can see that we put a full paragraph in there warning people not to buy at BTC on Cryptopia because it was overinflated. Not everybody is going to see that. Not everyone is going to see that. And maybe you could argue we didn't push the message out enough, but I felt having it on our blog, having it on Twitter, on Discord, on Reddit,
right,
and seeing that it was retweeted over 200 times, beyond a reasonable doubt, we can assume that we did the best in our ability to warn people that the price had sunk below 1 Satoshi on the LTC and Dodge pair. So,
and that's the toughest thing with these cryptos, and that's the thing that I tell people with the show that I do here as well. It's like, look, people, if you can't, even if I heard something from somebody else and they told me, buy this coin, buy this coin, buy this coin, the bottom line is at the end of the day, I'm still responsible for it. But people don't understand this concept about themselves, and they get angry when they hear something, throw their money into it, and people walk away. Like those dudes with the YouTube that did their FUD thing and totally killed PAC. I personally, they didn't totally kill it. What they did for me is I heard about it shortly before they got a hold of it. So I had some through Trade Satoshi. Did you guys put some like a faucet on Trade Satoshi? Is that how it works? Like,
not a faucet. I think at one point we were on the invest box on Yobit where people could play like dice games and get a return on their coins that way. But I think we pulled that because it was a community thing, like a community member who had quite a large stake in the coin put that up very, very quickly. And then because it wasn't in line with the decisions that we'd made as a team, then we asked them to pull it down. But that was only I think that was only live for like a week. So I'm not aware of any active faucets that PAC's working with right now. We've had offers of people wanting to run them for us, and it's something that we can explore in the future if people think it would be a good idea. So yeah, hit me
absolutely.
Up, send me an email if people think.
Absolutely. Now, your coin kind of looks like another coin out there. Have you heard of experience points? XP. Have you heard of that coin?
Would you say?
What's that?
I've heard of it, but I've not done enough research on it to really.
Oh no, that's okay. It's basically in the same state that you are. They have a mobile wallet. They have an Android wallet. They don't have the iOS. They do have the stuff for Linux and Windows and all that. But they're suffering from the same thing, too. They're taking FUD right in the chin. Do you ever look at Cross?
Every coin in the market is down by 75% since the all-time high in January. I think it's unfair to single out any one coin or any one group of coins. I mean, just go onto the...
You there, Brad? Brad?
Dollars
oh, there you are.
January, and it's $300 now. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. See, we lost you for a moment there, Brad. So about 10 seconds worth of audio kind of went by the wayside.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I think it was just a glitch in the computer system. But I wanted to let you know that we didn't get everything that you had said there.
Okay.
So,
do you want me to repeat myself?
Yeah, if you could go through the last paragraph again, that would be great.
I just mentioned that the whole market is down by about 75%, and all someone needs to do if they're worried about the amount of FUD in PAC is just to go onto the Ethereum subreddit and have a look at the amount of, hate that even a top 3 coin is getting.
I know.
It's incredible.
It is incredible. With Ethereum was at what? It was over what? $1,200, $1,300 a coin?
Yeah, $1,260 was its all-time high, I believe, and now it's under $400.
Yeah.
So that in itself is a 4x loss for people that invested at the all-time high. So,
but that's the thing about
these
crypto markets are so volatile. You know what I mean? Like not knowing what it was when people got in. Either way, people need to take responsibility for themselves, folks. If you invest in any coin, not just PAC coin, not XP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever. Take responsibility for your own actions. This is your decision. It's your money when you put it in. Don't hold someone else responsible because you made a choice and put your stuff in. That being said, Brad, we've talked about the crypto show. We've talked about the wallets. Now, from here on out, what is, after the crypto show April 14th, what is the roadmap for PAC for the rest of 2017? I know you've touched on a couple of things where you said later on this year, we're hoping to have. Mm-hmm. If you could kind of give me, the roadmap for the rest of the year and then maybe a summary of 2019, that would be great.
Yeah, I'll do my best. I haven't got the roadmap up in front of me, so you're testing my memory at this point. But we have been interviewed before, and people have said, key cryptocurrency influencers have said that, shout out to us, we have probably one of the most ambitious roadmaps in crypto right now. I mean, if you just look at the platforms that we're attempting to release by the end of the year, if we were to hit all of those, I don't see any reason why we won't be a serious contender in the top 50. At our all-time high, we were ranked 47th, but that's based off a coin that had a broken blockchain, rewind attack bug, and wallets that didn't work or sync with the network. So if the old PAC coin can get pumped by a YouTuber and get into the top 50, right. I don't see any reason why a coin that has a solid development team behind it, a ridiculously ambitious roadmap, and a suite of platforms that are going to solidify us as a decent investment opportunity. Our main focus right now, now that the redemption is dying down and the resources for the redemption desk are freeing up, is PAC Life, because that's something that is, between me and everybody else who's probably listening, it's sorely overdue. We wanted to release an alpha of that in early January, but we missed that deadline due to we had to divulge our resources to the redemption because we had 3.5 trillion coins to redeem, and if we didn't swap the resources from that platform to the redemption, then we wouldn't have been able to do the turnaround that we did. People would have been waiting upwards of 2 weeks for their coins to come back through, and you can be damn sure that people would have definitely thought we were a scam then.
Oh, heck yeah.
Sent, 2 million coins to a redemption desk and not heard anything back for 2 weeks. They would probably say, oh, you're POSing our coins and making money off our coins before sending back to them.
Yep.
And so PAC Life, as everybody knows, is going to be the central hub for everything PAC related. It's going to be a social marketplace. It's going to be a proposal funding platform. So it'll be a Kickstarter. It'll be a Fiverr.com, so people can sell goods and professional services on the platform.
Beautiful.
It'll also be a forum for everything that's happening. I mean, we don't want to be relying on Discord and Twitter and Reddit and these other platforms to be getting our news out there. We're hoping that Pack Life will get to a point where those platforms are secondary for us. That most of our news will be coming out on Pack Life, and if you want to get the latest information, that you'll go there. There are also some other features that are going to be released for Pack Life as it ages and becomes more popular. But those are being kept under wraps for now because, in all honesty, we're waiting to see what the community suggests as well, because you'll be able to submit proposals yourself. You'll be able to say, we really wish that Pack Life could do this. And if 5,000 people agree, then obviously we're going to put it into a development platform. We're going to put it into a development schedule and get it funded and get it released. Then obviously we've got Pack POS coming out hopefully towards the end of the year, or at least going out for a proposal which will build the payment gateway for retailers and build point-of-sale devices, so QR code readers, barcode readers, physical transactional devices that retailers can purchase and put up in their stores, but whether that's just an online method or whether that's a physical in-shop application. And that's going to be really good with onboarding the currency into the general population. We've also got PAC Media as well, which is our content producing platform. And PAC Media is going to be a way for content producers to earn an income without having to go through the mainstream media outlets like Google Ads or signing on, because right now YouTube takes a massive cut out of a lot of content producers' incomes. We're talking, upwards of 20%. And that's a substantial amount of income that content producers are losing out on when they could release their content through a third-party platform like ours and get 100% profit share. You could argue that right now PAC Media isn't going to have as high a traffic network as YouTube, but everything starts small, and if our community of 270,000 people are able to driving content producers that release, you can host your podcast on PAC Media and migrate over there, and you will be able to liquidate those funds into fiat and use them.
Very good. Very good.
So, that's just off the top of my head.
Hey, Brad, can you hear me, bud?
We're planning on releasing.
Brad, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good, because we're getting that breakup thing again between the connection here, so I'm having a hard time hearing you. You're going in and out. But no, like I said, the last part was a little bit tough. Working overseas can be kind of difficult, but I think the main gist of what you were telling me for the rest of the roadmap for this year was that we have Pack Life coming out. We've got the PAC Media Center coming out. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay, and we are going to try and get we're going to try and get the Android wallet up within a week or so by the time of the show, and then further on out, we're going to look at maybe iOS probably sometime, I don't know, second half of the year, maybe this year. Is that fair to say?
It's fair to say, but we're
not going to lock it in. We're not going to sit here and say, we're definitely going to have it because Apple's a pain in the ass. I get that. That's not your fault. That's just Apple being Apple. But I'm just trying to give the community, everybody, like that one big push of, hey guys, look, let's get not just ourselves, let's get everybody else out there too, because I own this coin as well, just like everybody else. I don't own that much of it. I bought in, I lost a lot of my thing, but hey, I'm not mad because I made the choice. I wish a lot more people could be like me out there. But
it's nice to see that people can take ownership for their decisions, but at the end of the day, in an ideal world, this wouldn't have happened. We would love to have retained the majority of our value at the all-time high, and that would be amazing. But from the point that I'm sat, we came through with what we said we would do. We said that our value of the coin would be 1,000 times the value at the time of the swap, and we hit that. When the coin was swapped on February 1st, the value was, I think, 4 decimal places, 22.
Yep.
And when the coin went live on its first exchange on Trade Satoshi and then closed the EO bit after that, it was trading at just over 3 cents. So actually that was an increase of 16%. Actually up on what we said we were going to be. But the people that bought at 1 sat or higher than that didn't see those same returns because 1 sat for them would have been...
Okay.
The coin was trading much lower than that. So that's where the majority of the FUD is coming from. Is from people that, unknowing to them, won Satoshi on Cryptopia when the market, wasn't closed due to whatever reason Cryptopia decided to keep the market open for. Again, people seem to think that we could control Cryptopia's markets. That's absolutely not the case. We do not have control. At the end of the day, PAC is an asset on their exchange, and I believe, it's my personal opinion, that Cryptopia have a duty of care to their investors to let people know there is arbitrage opportunities happening across the market. I mean, anyone can get that information on CoinMarketCap. It's freely accessible to see what markets a coin is trading on. And if people don't want to use those platforms, then I don't feel as though Cryptopia or PAC should be held accountable for people not doing research. But that's not to say that we're pointing fingers at people. It's just common knowledge.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
It is. That's my favorite saying, Brad. It is what it is, brother. And I'll tell you what. With this coin, I'm very excited to see what the rest of 2018 is. So, looking forward to 2019. What are we looking at there?
That's quite a long way off. We don't have any massive plans that we can release at this stage for 2019 because I think if we were to plan that far ahead, we would be spreading our resources thin on things that aren't really going to make an impact right now.
Right. Okay.
What we're focusing on is building an infrastructure behind the coin. We need to have a physical product and a physical platform, or physical platforms where that product can be spent and traded and used. And once we have that foundation, it opens the door for us to start accepting proposals from the community because community-led. We are certain that within 6 months, we'll have so many proposals coming in via PAC Life that we will have our pick of the litter. We won't know which ones we want to fund. We have a development pool of marketing budget that we can spend on these proposals that are coming in. And we want people to be starting up initiatives for their own. Like, let's say, I'm just making stuff up off the top of my head here, but let's say you have city and you have a big national park that requires some funding. Maybe they're trying to improve wildlife enclosures or improve, anything. And you feel as though a donation of $30,000 would get that get that approved. Then people can submit their own proposal via the PAC Live platform and submit funding for that, and everybody can get involved, and then it raises awareness for the coin. It's a use case for the coin, and we get to see some good happening in this world, which I think is sorely needed.
Oh, absolutely. Now, it's funny you mentioned that. You were aware. You know who David Hay is, correct? You've been on his podcast, have you not?
I have.
Okay. Now, he had a very interesting... He gave a talk here in New York probably about a couple months ago in which I was watching the video, and he had mentioned his wife is from a South American country, Venezuela, I believe.
Correct.
And right now down there, they're having some issues as far as their currency. They tried to create the petro, the crypto dollar that's going to back the oil and all that stuff, and they got all sorts of sanctions from the United States and other countries because of all this. Now, this seems like a perfect use case scenario. You have a country such as Venezuela, maybe Colombia. There's a lot of countries down there that are struggling right now. Do you think PACcoin could bring some? Is there anything that PACcoin could do for them? Is there anything that, over the course of time, maybe you're looking at in any type of country or any type of scenario like that with this coin?
Yeah, well, the use case with Venezuela is quite interesting, where their currency is redundant due to inflation.
Yep.
So the example that I like to use is it's cheaper for anybody living in that country to withdraw physical banknotes from a bank and go to the toilet with those than it is to physically withdraw that currency and purchase toilet paper. That's how bad the currency situation is right now. So,
absolutely.
Yeah,
well,
here's the thing.
Well, here's the thing, Brad. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm kind of playing a little cat and mouse game with you here now. This is where I get a little wily on you. I came across a proposal for PAC coin that I believe was brought up by the PAC coin company themselves. Now, would you care to comment on this or deny it or?
That proposal is in the public domain. Okay. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not something that we aren't allowed to talk about.
Okay.
The only reason we haven't put out a statement regarding our proposal for this project in Venezuela is because they are still working out the specifics.
Yeah, so there's a lot of them to work out.
Correct.
Yes.
Their onboarding process is going to take at least a year from start to finish.
Okay.
It's a massive project. And should PAC be chosen as the currency to be used as a legitimate currency for that part of the world, I think would give us indefinite global exposure. It's not about being a marketing opportunity for us, though. We are genuinely looking to solve a problem.
Yes.
PAC as a currency, due to its social governance platform, its masternode network, and the ability to consistently add liquid funds to that cause makes us a perfect opportunity for them. We have submitted a proposal, and that proposal is in the public domain. So if people wish to seek that out and read that, they're more than happy to do that. But until we are in a position to say, yes, this is going ahead, or no, this isn't going ahead, but we kind of tried, we won't be releasing it on our platforms. But if people want it, they're more than welcome to go get it. There is a Discord for the SOS Venezuela project, which people can join and read our proposal. And it's a 13-page document. It's very in-depth, and it goes into how not only PAC as a currency is going to be used potentially, but how we can solidify funds and store value for them indefinitely.
Well, it's definitely a very lofty goal, and it is a good read, no doubt. But you were saying?
No, absolutely. I mean, we're in proposal stage at this point. Yes. We're working out whether our currency can be ported to crypto ATM machines on the ground, like boots on the ground stuff over there. We're thinking of how we can integrate fingerprint scanners to register people's IDs so that they can claim their weekly free PAC, as it were. Because the general idea is to give everybody in that country 2 weeks' worth of wages in PAC.
Okay.
And that to spend on goods and services. And like I mentioned earlier, with the whole QR code scanning features, we can print out stickers for individual wallet addresses for retailers to use, whether that means that you're just an average person on the side of the road selling fruit, or whether you actually have a physical store. You can just put a QR code on your window or point of sale, and anybody can walk up to you with a mobile phone and send you PAC an equivalent for what you're selling or trading.
And that's a great system we currently use here in the States.
Exactly. So the tech is already there, and it's only going to get better as we develop more of our platforms. But specifically regarding the Venezuela initiative, like I say, we're in proposal stage at this point. We can't confirm nor deny whether we're going to be chosen. We would like to be. We are in regular dialogue with David Hay, and I think it could happen. It would be great if it could. We're up against other currencies like Smart Cash, Digibyte, Dash themselves. So by all means, go look at those currencies and see how we are, how we stack up in relation to them. Right. Smart Cash is a good one because they also have a social governance system, much like us. The main difference between us and Smart Cash is Smart Cash has a 70% developer pool, which is obscene. That is a ridiculous amount of money to be going back into the pockets of the developers, where they will caveat that by saying that those developer funds is what they use to fund other projects. But if you run the numbers on their social governance platform, it doesn't add up.
Right.
70% of their coins isn't equal to the amount of outgoings that they have on the projects that are currently being funded. So I'm not going to say anything else about that, but you're allowed to make up your own opinion about what I'm trying to say by that statement.
Sounds good, Brad.
Whereas ours is a solid 20%, and that can be confirmed on the Block Explorer. So people know where our coins are going at all times. So,
well, Brad, I got to say, I think what it sounds like to me is basically, here's the gist of the interview. For 2018, PAC Coin is hoping for less confusion. We're trying to iron out things here. That's why we're interviewing Brad today, folks. We're trying to get to the bottom of what the info is. So we're looking at less confusion for 2018. New info dropping. We got the wallets. We went over all of that. Now, Brad, are we looking at a web redesign, or do you have a chief media officer?
The website was redesigned.
And that was when? January?
I'm not sure.
December?
Yeah, it was one of the first things we did. When I was first appointed as CMO for the coin, it was one of the first prerequisites I demanded.
Do you handle all the media as well, or is there someone else that handles media there?
In terms of outgoing marketing, yes, I handle all of it. So if updates, basically the team has bi-weekly meetings, so I don't know if that's correct. Every 2 weeks, on a Tuesday, we meet up and we talk about everything that's new, everything that's going to happen, and everything that has happened. And I will get a synopsis from the developer 2 weeks before everybody else. So the stuff that we release has actually been live for probably 2 weeks now.
Beautiful.
With a few exceptions, obviously, because there are some things like the beta for the Electron wallet that we literally finished that day. So sometimes we cut it close, but in the grand scheme of things, I get about 2 weeks notice on stuff that's coming up. So then I can then use that 2 week lead time to bring up a communications plan and a release schedule and decide on, with that information that I'm given, what is the best way to capitalize on that from a marketing standpoint? How can I push that out to as many people as possible, create as much interest as possible? Do we need press releases? Do we need to do a YouTube video on it? Do we need to explain things? X, Y, Z. And that's just part and parcel with the job. It's about taking essentially a lot of random information that the general public might not understand and collating it into a point where it can be used to promote the coin. And there's also a lot of things that I go off my own back to work on. So, for example, this crypto show in London, I off my own back. I made the connections with people that I knew in the UK to get us a spot there. I did my thing and talked them down on the price, and now we have a great deal. So,
fantastic job, by the way. That's good stuff. I'm a crypto enthusiast, so it's not just your coin I like. I mean, I like all the coins, but I love what you're doing, Brad. I really do. You're putting your heart and your soul into it. And I got to imagine when they hired you to do the job that you're doing right now, they've got to be pleased with the job you're doing, because you do not have an easy one with all the BS you got to take. And, sir, quite frankly, I think you handle it really well. I appreciate you coming on the show today and answering all my questions. Is there anything else you want to let the viewers or the listeners know right now?
Let me think.
PACcoin.net is the website. Go ahead, Brad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, if you haven't seen the redesign to the website, I mean, it has been live for some time now, but I would highly recommend checking it out. If you guys haven't seen what it was like in November and you see what it's like now, it's a massive step up. It's much more easier. It's easier to navigate. The white paper's there, front page and center for any doubters that think. I mean, even yesterday, I saw somebody on Twitter that tried to claim that we didn't have a white paper, and I think it's crazy how there are still people out there that don't know improvement. So maybe we need to push that a little bit more.
Absolutely.
But our Bitcoin talk thread is popular. It's 23 pages long already, and we think that that's done a really, really good job of getting a general overview of what the coin offers. I mean, it's kind of like a light paper on there. So you have a synopsis of the roadmap, you have a synopsis of what the coin does, what it offers, and what we plan to do for the end of till the end of 2018. And people do need to be aware we will be updating the roadmap. There are a lot of things that we've released that weren't in the roadmap. Like, for example, mega nodes. This was something that our innovation team did completely off their own back and has released as a surprise. We will probably update the full roadmap end of 2018 with a brand new one that will have all of 2019 and more stuff for people to look forward to. So yeah, like I say, we just want the community to get behind us. We understand that the price isn't where we want it to be, but the coin, at the end of the day, if you put the facts on paper, the coin is 2 months old.
Yeah.
What coin in the history of crypto, like any coin, has ever taken 3.5 trillion coins, redeemed them within the people? I mean, you've got to understand the amount of public trust that's actually had to involve. What crypto has ever asked for anyone to just send them coins to an unknown wallet address and hope that you get them back? I mean,
that sounds like a scam, man.
Exactly. If I had come into the coin with no prior knowledge as to what was happening or how dedicated the team was to actually making this redemption work, I would have stayed away with a 10-foot pole.
Right.
Absolutely. And I completely, people probably still view us in that way. But now that the redemption is out of the way, we haven't got these pitfalls to run into anymore. The coin is live. The network is strong. It's being mined. People are interested in it. It's still the most profitable X11 coin to be mined right now, which is why ProHash is mining the living crap out of it and causing us an issue, which we're addressing. And I think the community know about that already, that we are potentially looking at an algorithm change in the near future to C11, which is slightly different to X11, which will open up mining to GPUs and CPUs.
Ah, yes, a solution is coming. Very good.
Is big thing, but if you have a laptop or from a GPU, then they're more than welcome to hopefully be able to do that. Which we're making ourselves more accessible to the community. Your average Joe with a decent laptop will be able to mine the coin, albeit not a lot of coins, but they'll still be able to do it.
And that's the thing, but people just want that stigmatism. They just want that extra little thing that they can do with the coins. I mean, like I said, XP coin is another coin that's just like this. You can mine it, you can stake it, you can do all of it. And I think PAC has a very, very, very bright future. Is there anything else you want to add in there, Brad?
Like I say, you caught me off guard on that question only because I wish I'd planned something special for everybody, but unfortunately I don't.
Curveball.
I mean, at the end of the day, my job right now is raising awareness. I think what I really need to be focusing on in terms of developing myself as a professional is to get more informative news out there. I think right now people will appreciate me fighting the FUD more than focusing on trying to tell everyone how amazing PAC is. I think the more that they see blog articles from me that explain what happened with Cryptopia, what happened with the price, and explain it in a professional manner so that I'm not pointing fingers and I'm not trying to alienate people or say that people are uninformed or unintelligent for doing what they did or buying at a certain price. It's more about just saying that these things happen, these are the facts, this is how the market went. A lot of it was outside of our control, and we completely understand how on paper it might look like there have been some seedy things going on, but really it's just been a string of bad luck. We never asked for a YouTuber to pump us to the stratosphere and get us in the top 50. The whole plan for PAC was to slowly build up a community, redeem the coins, because if you think about it, if we'd never got pumped in the first place, we wouldn't have had to redeem so many coins because there wouldn't have been that many investors to redeem coins for. So when we were building the plan, we actually didn't have a team big enough to account for the amount of new people that we were going to have coming in. Does that make sense? That's why our resources are stretched so thin. When you're starting any business, you have a 3-month, 6-month, 1 year and 5-year plan. And you go, how many members of staff will I need on these projected growth figures? So you employ these staff members, and then imagine you open up your storefront and you've only got 3 members of staff because you only plan on selling, I don't know, a small amount of t-shirts, and then some celebrity is seen wearing your t-shirts and 500,000 people show up at your front door. You're not going to have the members of staff
instantly
available to account for all those people. And that is metaphorically what happened with PAC. We didn't have enough members of staff and enough community volunteers in place to handle hitting the PAC life deadline and handle redeeming that many coins, which is why it seems as though we were quote unquote incompetent or professional enough to handle it. But the reality of it is just we outgrew our expectations faster than we could have, and that's the message that nobody knows, that we haven't put out a public statement to tell people. And I think in hindsight, it's something we should have done. We should have just been honest and said, guys, we're completely outgunned here. Look at our daily trade volume. The reason that PAC coin broke Cryptopia in the first place is because it was trading at $300 million a day.
Wow.
Cryptopia's average trade volume is 20 million, which means PAC coin single-handedly probably made them a obscene amount of money in trading fees and transfer fees. So Cryptopia, in essence, owe us everything, really, because there's probably a reason they could afford to upgrade their servers when they relaunched their LTC markets, is because the money they probably made off of the trade fees happening because of our volume has probably helped them expand. So this is just how it is, unfortunately. But now that things are dying down, that's why our developers are releasing stuff so quickly now, is because we're diverting our resources away from the redemption team back onto the development. So, yeah.
Get back to basics, get back to work, do the stuff that needs to be done, and keep continuing to get this coin going in the right direction and progressing down the advancement line. It's about the best I can say it.
It's only up from here as far as I'm concerned.
Honestly, it has to be, because, I mean, the coin from where it was in early January to where it is today is it's down. It's definitely down, even after the redemption, even after all that. I mean, it went up on the redemption, it came down. But that's the thing, folks. When these things come down, these are great. You said it the other day, Brad, and I wanted to just scream it from the rooftops. You said the buying opportunity comes when these ridiculously low prices come around. And that's absolutely my feeling. You buy the dip. You always buy the dip, especially if it's a 75% dip or, from what we were trading at just months ago. So, and that's more where, I find myself at. Like, this right now, PAC coin to me is a good deal. I think if you're looking for a coin to get into, if you're looking for one to buy that you're looking to hold long term, personally, I love it. But make smart decisions, people. Do your thing. And Brad, this has been a great interview, brother. Do you have anything else you'd like to add, or? Uh-oh. Did I lose Brad? No, I didn't. He's here somewhere, folks.
But if you look at the pricing, hi.
Sorry, man.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we're good to go now. Fire away.
No problem. I just wanted to caveat by saying that although the price is down 70% in line with other altcoins and other major cryptocurrencies, if you look at the price of our coin now compared to what it was in November, we're actually still 5 times higher than we were. So, as far as I'm concerned, we've had a 5 times growth since November, which just shows that we followed through with what we said we were going to follow through with. We're at a higher floor now than we were in November. So who would realistically complain about if someone said to you back in November, I will give you 5 times your money this time in February or April? You wouldn't say no to that, would you? So...
No, not at all. Not at all. But if I bought in January and if I bought in January, I'd be pissed. But either way, you know what? You're absolutely right, and that's the way I look at it. That's the way I've always looked at it, Brad. This market, this whole ecosystem did not exist all that long ago. You know what I mean? We're all in the Wild West, and this is new territory. So hopefully we can all get along, and hopefully this coin, like you said, I mean, since November, this coin is up, folks. I did a video on it on my igLockDaddy channel for YouTube. It was called Pump, Dump, Rise, Repeat, because they pumped it, they dumped it, and the price always comes out higher after the dump. Check it out. You don't see it go down a lot. I mean, yeah, now it's kind of gone down a little bit, but it continues to rise if you look at the cycle over time, over when the coin first came in, and stuff like that. So, folks, just be smart when you're buying your coins and Personally, I think PAC's a good buy at this point. I'm thinking about taking the Scam Watch tag off it and just leaving it be and checking back in 6 months and see where you guys are at, because you don't look like a scam to me.
Well, if it was a scam, this would be the worst scam I think anyone has ever run in crypto, because there's been no exit plan.
Exactly.
For a scam to be a scam, there has to be an exit. There has to be an exit plan, and nobody seems to have sold any of their coins. The developers still hold their entire portfolios, as far as I'm aware.
Right.
So,
and how would you get rid of them? I mean, you couldn't get rid of that big a volume of coins through the limited number of exchanges that are out there, too. With the amount of supply. You know what I mean, Brad?
What it is right now, you couldn't sell if you wanted to.
Right.
I think I know of like 13 community members I could probably list right now who own more coins than me.
Right.
So, like, it is what it is. I think there are people with much more skin in the game than even some of the devs, which is actually humbling, really. It's kind of humbling that people view that highly of hack to accumulate that much of the circulating supply. So,
absolutely. Well, you know what, Brad? On that note, I think we're going to get going. Unless you have anything else to add, I appreciate having you on the program today. I'd like to check back with you in a few months, talk to you again, see where we're at, and
sure.
And hopefully, keep contact with you. PACcoin.net, folks. Get there. PACCOIN.net. That's where you can find all the information on this. What do we have? PACmasternodes.net too, Brad?
Well, that is a third-party website, I believe.
Okay.
For Masternode information, you really just want to be going to masternodes.pro or masternodes.online, because they have all of the ROI figures. So you can check that out on those third-party platforms. They're really, really useful.
And folks, also, if you're looking to, get a hold of Brad, maybe you have a use case for the PAC coin, you can reach him at brad@paccoin.net. That's his email. Go ahead, send him an email. This is how it works, folks. The community is going to build this coin, or it's going to kill it, one or the other. And I hope it survives and it thrives, Brad. And with you as one of the guys the writing force behind it, man, I'm excited to see what this coin can do, and let's see if we can't get PAC coin on track. Brother?
Absolutely. I mean, I will be releasing the keynote speech that I do in April live on our YouTube channel once it's done. I mean, it might be like a day behind, obviously, because I'll need to do some sound editing, but I'll make sure that people that aren't able to fly to London that actually get to see it. So I'll be doing that for everybody. So you can watch that.
Fantastic, brother. Well, again, I appreciate having you on today. We're going to get going. We're going to end the show for today. Folks, come on back and check us out anytime. And hopefully we'll see you next time. I got a video coming out where I'm doing my PAC rack up, so don't miss that. It's not a hit piece. It's going to be a good one, I promise. But stay tuned to igLockDaddy. I will be back tomorrow with another update for you. So keep it here. Keep it live. Have a great night, folks. And don't forget to check out my social media, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. It's all igLockDaddy. Just pump my name into Google and go. So for now, folks, have a great afternoon, and we'll see you later here at the igLockDaddy Report.